Hello, viewers, and welcome back to Daughters of Africa in Diaspora, D.A.D. Corner. I'm glad to have you, and I appreciate your presence with us today. With me in the studio today is Miss Onyine Nneji, who lives in New Jersey. She's been in the US for the past 10 years, and she got her as soon as she entered the US, Onyine went straight to school because she has seen that getting a job here is not like people see it. And she has seen that planting the dollar in your backyard is not true. That here, you gotta work. And when you work, you are paid. Onyinye went to the University of Rutgers University in New Jersey, where she got her bachelor's degree, which she will tell us about, along with her master's, which she will also talk about. Ms. Nneji, you are welcome to this program.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Now that you are here, tell us exactly what you started doing as soon as you entered the US. Because I see you didn't see anybody who planted dollar in the backyard, and you didn't pluck any also, did you?
No.
If you did,
no, I didn't see anybody.
If you did, let us know.
No, I didn't see anybody who planted dollar at the backyard, or I didn't plant myself. I wish I did, but I didn't. I did a lot of stuff, one thing you see before you come to, or before you leave Nigeria, you always think coming here, you're going to build houses and do a lot of stuff. Life is not as easy as we predict. But I went to school here. I went to Rutgers University. I got double major in social work and psychology too. Then I did my master's in social work with emphasis on violence against women and children. Then I'm working right now. So that's how it has been.
That's interesting. A lot of people, a lot of us come here thinking that, oh, it's because you are in the US. Life is just going to be as easy as ABC. But unfortunately, that's not true. That is not so. It has been evidenced that when you come here, you either choose the hard way, which is to go to school and then come out, you will definitely get a job. Unlike where we come from in Nigeria, where you go to school and you come out and you're roaming the streets, carry your certificates in your hand, walking from office to office. However, since you've been here and you finished schooling, tell us how difficult it was for you to get a job.
It was kind of when I finished my undergrad, I didn't, look for a job. I went straight to my master's program, which I did under 1 year. I did advanced standing, what is if you have a background in social work, you're allowed to do your master's for 1 year. So I chose that option. Even though I had a psychology degree, I decided to go into social work for my master's. So after I graduated, it wasn't easy too. Life is not as people think. I look for a job. I think I spent almost 6 months looking for a job before I finally landed where I am today. So just yeah.
You spent only 6 months looking for a job and you got one. I know of children of my friends who graduated more than 10, 15 years ago, and they are still jobless. They are home, being fed by their parents and housed by their parents, because that is a very corrupt system where nothing happens, even with all the degree you have, unless, of course, you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody up there back in Nigeria before you can think of, yes, they are going to give your child a job. I met you at the UN program, the UN Women Forum program that holds every year beginning with March 8th, which is the International Women's Day. And it lasts all the way to March 20th, where we have a lot of women programs, women from different parts of the world. They come in, they present their country as is based on what they are doing, especially women who are doing what we call NGO, non-governmental organizations in Nigeria, and what we call charity organizations in the United States. From your experience right here, could you tell us the difference between what you see here with the charity works and what you saw in Nigeria with the NGOs?
I'm an activist. I love to use the word to describe myself as an activist. I'm also a feminist. I look at life from using feminist theory. You know, I try to see whatever policy or whatever is going to happen, how it's going to impact women and children. That's my area. With what happened, with what is going on in Nigerian NGO and here, it's almost the same thing. I work in a nonprofit. Everything is grant, oriented. Yeah, we also acknowledge Nigerian women they are doing a lot, because I have experience coming from there. Nigerian women are doing a lot. And doing charity work here is also, I've done charity work that are not related here, that are not related to NGO. I've volunteered in different sectors. I'm also doing, despite being working now, I'm also, doing some charity work that are not recorded or being paid. One of the things I would say that is the difference between here and Nigeria is our orientation. A lot of people think, when you work in nonprofit, there's a lot of money. But one thing I always tell people is, if you're going to work in a nonprofit, you're going to find something you are passionate about. I do nonprofit jobs because I'm passionate about what I do. When I was in Nigeria, I did it because I'm passionate about women issues. If you don't have that passion about issues that that you want to work with, and you want to work in nonprofit, it doesn't matter where you work, whether it's in Nigeria, whether it's in America, whether it's in Europe, you're not going to find it fulfilling, because it's not a nonprofit job or charity work. Has nothing to do with, I'm going to be rich. It's about what you want to achieve. It's about what you want to give out to the society where you are. I try as much as possible to do things that I love. That's one thing I always tell myself. What is it that I love? Then if I get paid doing it, it's much better. Here also doing charity work is people understand what is a charity work. I think most people get a little bit of confused when you tell them you're doing a charity work. They think, oh, it's either you are getting money from the government, somebody's paying you, or you are doing nothing, you are getting, something done. One thing I will encourage anybody, or the difference is just to be sure that you love what you do, whether you are here or you are back home or you are anywhere. Be passionate about your job before you go into charity work or nonprofit job.
It's very gratifying for anyone to do charity work or work under the NGO. When it's an NGO, it becomes an organization, and the owners, the conveners of that organization would hire people to work with them by way of advocacy, by way of campaigning, and by way of action in doing exactly what the motto talks about. Me, for instance, I worked with my food pantry at St. Mary's Church twice a month on Saturdays, giving out food to the needy who line up. We feed about 200 to 250 people a day. We don't give them cooked food, we give them packaged food. I worked in that pantry for 15 good years. And I know that's it's a non-paying job, but I decided to do it as a way of giving back to my Newark community. I also go to Nigeria every July when Nigerians in the diaspora go home for their return, for the general international meeting that the government sets up for us. And what I do on my own, I also go to motherless babies' homes, what do you call it? All these places where they have destitutes, but the government, they are harbored in a home, taken care by the church people or non-organization administration. I go there to do things with the children by making sure I give them something. I go to the hospitals also with the to the maternity wards and new babies wards and stuff like that. All these are how you are giving back to the community, even though you don't have to blow your trumpet or let everybody know you are there. It's giving back to the community where you come from. And here also, giving back to the community where you live. What have you seen or done here that you could use to advise your peers that you left back in Nigeria?
I have always been, volunteering since. I think one of the things I always, if there's anything I should campaign more in Nigeria is the act of volunteerism. Because a lot of people don't do it. When I was in Nigeria, I used to volunteer in Red Cross. I spent almost 5 years volunteering in Red Cross, Lagos State Red Cross, I do it. When I came to United States, I think one of the things I also did was to find a place to volunteer. And I did a volunteer job for, also in a food pantry. It's lucky that you mentioned something of food pantry. I did volunteer in food pantry for long too here in the United States, I also, as of last year, I became a member of Red Cross Society here in America, New Jersey chapter. So I do a lot of volunteerism. It's something that people need to know. Everything, I think one of the things I speak about, and I tell my peers, and I tell my friends, and I tell my families, everybody in this life has something you're passionate about. Life goes beyond money. I know when you speak about life goes beyond money, people ask you, but I need to pay my bills. Like I used to tell people, one of the things that makes me happy when I volunteer is the thank you get from your clients, the thank you get from the people that come in there. It makes me happy that somebody will look at me and say, oh, thank you for helping me today. Thank you for doing this. It's I need everybody to start, refocusing their perspectives about life, begin to adjust. If there's anything, find something that you like. There's something you like. It's not, you can't like what I like. So that thing that you like, find, even if it's 2 hours a day, even if it's 30 minutes a day, even if it's 15 minutes a day, find a place you can go. It's fulfillment, I've been doing it. I've been volunteering for long. It's not because I'm not speaking now. This is one thing I want to make it clear. I'm not speaking because I live in the United States that I started my volunteerism. No, I've been doing it in Nigeria before I left. I did volunteer in JDPC in Nigeria as a Catholic. I did volunteer in Red Cross. I came here, I continued. This is part of my life and it makes me happy. Unless, I think one thing is we need to campaign more to let people know the act of volunteerism, what you achieve, the fulfillment. So for my peers, I think I would just let them know, try it once, try and do something to somebody you are better off. Try and go somewhere and help. It's not something, and one thing again, it's not when you do it, you come and post it on social media, you want to let the world know you did this. No, try and do something in private, go somewhere and help out. People don't know things I do unless I tell them, because me, I believe in doing something and just let it be. I know I've done some things where I did a fundraising, for some people, so I usually like doing things and I let it be. I don't like showcasing. So just find something you like. People should stop saying it, oh, in Nigeria, we don't do it. No, I did it in Nigeria. I did. I did a lot of volunteerism in Nigeria, even while I was working, so do it and try it. It makes you happy. It makes you happy. It makes you see life from a different perspective. It makes you go home to yourself and I say, wow, I'm so proud of myself today. It makes you sit down and you say, life is not about money. I think so that's one thing I would tell them. Find something that makes you happy and do it.
Talking about what makes people happy, what would you say the job you're doing now, how would you use what you're doing now to empower other people outside your area of professionalism?
The job I'm doing now, I think I've worked a lot of times with women. This time around, I'm working with kids, abusive kids, human trafficking, child pornography, child sexual exploitation, and this area is something that I've been speaking a lot. I have spoken so much about domestic violence, so I'm channeling my power now to speaking about child abuse, because with what I've seen recently with my job, I think we need campaign, we need social media, we need media talking about the child abuse. It is happening. Children are being abused. Children under 10 years being abused. It's happening in our families. It's happening in our churches. It's happening in our schools. So I'm telling everybody, listen to a child. If a child is speaking about something, be able to listen, figure it out. If you see any sign that you think, if you are a parent, try to look at your children, listen to what they are saying. If they become too comfortable with somebody, try and figure out what is going on. Because one thing I also let you know, that people who abuse kids, it's not strangers, it's people they trust most. So that's the sad part of it, that you might not even know is going on, because your kids are so, so close to the abuser that you wouldn't notice something is going on. So this area that I'm beginning to dive in now, beginning to study, like I mentioned in my introduction, that my background is violence against women and children in my master's program. And I've done a lot with women, and now I'm doing with children, and I'm beginning to say, oh, wow, I have to put more energy in talking to, I speak to my friends that have kids. I know it's scary when you talk about child pornography. It's scary when you talk about child human trafficking. It's scary when you talk about child sexual exploitation. The internet is not a safe place. When you give your child a phone, a laptop, a tablet, iPad, make sure you monitor it. Make sure you know what they are doing. Make sure you know who they are interacting with. So this area now is one thing I'm spending some more time trying to do research, trying to know what is going on, to know how I could speak more, just like I've done with domestic violence.
We're talking about domestic violence or child pornography or child trafficking. It is not as common here in America as it is in Nigeria. So what are some of your organizations that you know, or the platform with which you said you are working with? What are you guys doing regarding, especially this time they're not trafficking just children, they are trafficking both adults and all. So it should be called, it shouldn't be called child trafficking, it should be people trafficking. They are trafficking people. So what are these organizations that you know? What are you people doing to see, to curb it a little bit?
No, I wouldn't. Why I use human trafficking goes on both adult and children. Why I use child trafficking is because that is where the area I'm looking at, this area, I'm based. Human trafficking is something that goes on. It doesn't matter whether you are a man. It doesn't matter whether you are a woman. It doesn't matter whether you're an adult or kid. And one of the things I know that I will speak on is we need to bring more enlightenment. We need to start educating our kids in schools. So when I speak on child trafficking, I'm not saying it doesn't happen to women or adults or men. I'm speaking because this area, that I'm specializing in. So one of the things is campaigning. There's a lot of organizations. It's not even here, even in Nigeria. And I see on social media, Nigerians also fighting against rape, against anything that has to be an abuse against children. One thing that I think we have to do is to speak more. The media need to come out and speak, on it, because even though here in the United States, it's still something that people think is not happening. And a lot of people have no idea that human trafficking is going on. Because you think, when you live in the United States, you think it's happening in the third world countries. But then it's happening here. But one thing I know, there's a lot of organizations that are speaking up. There are education going on. People are being a capacity building is going on. So the same thing that will go on in Nigeria will also go on here. It's just like putting more energy, letting people know.
Well, viewers, we've been speaking with Miss Onyine Nneji, who an activist, an advocate also against violence against women and children. That you heard her talk about trafficking, both for adults and children. And as a matter of fact, she is in the US and trying to do what she can do to make sure that some of these things come to an end. Ms. Onyine, thank you very much for being on this program, Daughters of Africa in the Diaspora, D.A.D. Corner, and we hope to be speaking to you in no distant time. Thank you for being on this program.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time with me. Thank you.